here's some interesting news. So, what you're seeing here, this is a scroll. Um, 2,000 years ago, they were used to. It was a library. The parchments rolled up, and um, ancient knowledge was written on these, and the great libraries had them. In some cases, we might have some that we can read that's preserved on, like, say, bronze or something like that, where they could be unrolled. But the ones that were made out of a fibrous material or like an organic material of some sort like that, whenever they try to unroll it to read it, what happens? It falls apart. It's so all they can do is, like, for centuries, kind of look at it like, in some cases, yeah, they've tried, but yeah, which results in a complete destruction. So they stopped trying because then they thought maybe someday advancements will allow us to figure out how to see what's inside of there without destroying it. And that day has come. We actually can read these now. So what's happening is the scroll is taken to a computer and it's scanned and X-rayed. You'll see all the little tiny fragments or little sections rolled up, which it would be impossible for the human hand to unroll that, but that can all be analyzed by computer, and then artificial intelligence is able to piece all that together, where we could never do that. So then artificial intelligence is then able to unroll the scroll basically virtually and read it and tell us everything and also translate it too and see what's inside of it. So this is fascinating because there was a library and a huge library that was destroyed over by Mount Vesuvius in Pompeii area, where you have this, like, vast library of scrolls, but we never tried to try. We have no idea until now what was actually inside of those scrolls. So now they've already started scanning a number of the scrolls, and eventually they will have them all analyzed and see what every single one of these scrolls say. Now, a lot of times there might be lost information through the centuries where people might say, "Oh, well, that was retranslated differently, and it wasn't actually originally written like that." So uh, basically, this library was covered in ash in 79 AD, almost 2,000 years ago. So everything to that knowledge, which was reported and stored at that time, was pretty much there. So it might also have a lot of old legends we have no idea about, because what happened was the Vatican has stored a great deal of text, and what it would do is periodically have scribes recopy and do the best they can in order to reprint books. But many of them were never, they didn't bother reprinting. So much literature was simply lost to time. Things with maybe like ancient legends, perhaps, that might have been known to the ancient Romans but have been forgotten to time. Other things were critics. It'd be interesting. I'm sure there might be things written about Jesus or Christians at that time, what might have been heard. A lot of times people say, oh, well, it wasn't until people that have no sense might say, oh, well, there's nothing written about Jesus or anything later until Constantine in 300 AD, and it was just a fabrication. But of course, in 79 AD, which was a little over 30 years after the time of Jesus, if there was literature written about Christians and things like that, then it would be like, oh yeah, yeah, there, it's all recorded there. Now, in that particular case, it would be criticism and other things about Jesus in most cases, and some things just like a non-biased point of view. So that would also be interesting to hear about all those details that might be written inside of this library of ancient books.